hello. Well, if you don't know this voice by now, then why are you listening to this podcast or watching this video on YouTube? What is up, guys? This is James, aka Jimmypancakes 20, back for a new episode of the Jimmypancakes 20 show. I know a lot of people have been wondering, you haven't posted since like 2 weeks. Well, I've been super busy with my daytime job, and I do this for fun for you guys. It's not my full-time job, but because we are getting into the busy season for speculations and maze construction and stuff like that, I'm going to try to do a lot more videos / podcasts for you guys. I'm going to try to do it as much as I can, leading up to the opening of the Halloween events. So, of course, I'm joined again by my co-host. She doesn't need any introductions. She's been in some of my videos. She's joined me for a lot of podcasts. So, once again, my co-host for this episode is my mom, Marsha. So, Mom, say hello.
Hello, everybody.
So, I hope everyone's enjoying this podcast, because this one is going to be a very special podcast, because if you guys do not know, there is a company that's out in Florida that does YouTube videos. They're known as Hhn Nightmares, and every single year they do about 2 to 3, sometimes up to 4 speculation maps. And so they do one for Hollywood, and they do one for Orlando. And so this is the speculation map version 2 that we are going to be covering in this podcast / video. And we're going to talk about what we think these symbols could be, guessing what mazes could be. Now, you can check out my first video of the first speculation map that I did a couple, months ago, and I will put a link to that video / podcast down below so you guys can check it out, because in this speculation map, a lot of icons have changed, and that's what Marsha and I are going to talk about in this video / podcast of what we think these icons could mean. There are some that are still the same, and then a lot of them are different. So, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you are ready. So, this is episode 18. I forgot to mention that, but I wanted to get the intro done. So, this is episode 18, the second Halloween Horror Nights Hollywood 2024 Speculation Map version 2. So, sit back, relax, and enjoy this episode. So, let's get right into it, Mom. So, first of all, before we even get into what our speculation is, just from the first version of the map to this one, you can tell there's a lot of icons that have changed from our first map.
Definitely.
So
I see some new ones, some old ones. So don't know what's going on.
Right. So I guess how we're going to do this is we're going to start from the first maze that's always located on the upper lot to the bottom maze, which is the furthest one. And then we're also going to talk about what we think the terror trim could be. Also, scare zones, we have no idea, so we're not going to talk about the scare zones, but we are going to talk about the possible 2 shows that could be coming that are going to be both located back again in Waterworld. The Waterworld Arena is going to be some type of show, as well as where Kung Fu Panda is. That's going to be another show or museum. So we're going to talk about all that. So if you're listening to the podcast, if you want to see the map, I will put a link down to the Twitter account so you can check out the map. Or if you're watching this on YouTube, you can see the map as we're going through it. And I'm going to point to the icons as we go through each one. So, the first one that we're going to talk about, Mom, is the one that was in the old Walking Dead attraction. So for about 4.5 years, they did have a daytime Walking Dead attraction that closed in early 2020.
And they've been using the venue ever since.
They've been using it
for mazes.
For mazes. So the first maze that was in there was in 2022, where it was the Universal Hotel. That's what I was trying to think
yes.
Of. And then in 2023 was the Evil Dead Rising. So we have that symbol that originally was going to be downstairs on the lower lot, but now it's been moved up to where the Walking Dead attraction is. It's a symbol with like a warning, like a line between it, and then a thing that's like a speaker that is speaking of. So before I tell you what I think my positions are, what do you think it could be? What sticks out of your head of what do you think it could be?
I would say A Quiet Place.
Okay, interesting.
What else was I thinking of? Trying to remember. The only one I could think of right now is The Quiet Place.
A Quiet Place. Okay, that is very interesting because there is a new Quiet Place movie that's coming out this summer, which is a prequel to the first one. It basically gives you the story of how
they had to be quiet and stuff, right?
Right. But that's the leading rumor of this one. But there's also people that have been talking about possibly it could be Silent Hill.
That's true.
You know, or a movie that's called Don't Breathe.
Never heard of that one.
It's basically these kids break into this house where this guy is blind, but he can hear your breathing.
Oh, okay.
So these kids have to sneak out of the house, but if they make a sound, he can hear where they are, so they have to be quiet. I mean, that could be another one, too.
When is that one coming out?
That was an old movie that came out a long time ago, but, people are thinking that could be it, too. So
we are thinking Quiet Place, Silent Hill,
or
Don't Breathe.
Don't Breathe.
Interesting, James.
Yeah, but I would love to know your guys' thoughts in the comments down below as well. What do you guys think? All right, so the next one we're going to move on to is the Persian Courtyard. This is an iconic place that they have done mazes. Last year they did Monsters of Latin America there. So, if you know this, Mom, they still have the flower that they had
last time,
but now it looks like it's South America, like the icon for South America, if you can see what I'm talking about.
Or Latin America.
Yeah. So, so your thoughts on that, Mom?
I was thinking the maze we had last year. What was it called?
Monsters of Latin America?
Yeah, Monsters of Latin America.
So you think that might come back?
Yes, or something to do with another country.
So, like, keep the theme of Mexican...
Yeah, heritage.
Heritage, okay. I mean, I could see that. So this is just a theme thing because there is a movie that's turning 70 years old. That's a classic Universal monster movie. Creature from the Black Lagoon.
I didn't think of that one.
And
Didn't think of that one.
And I don't know. It does take place in the Amazon, which is in
Latin
South
America. Or South America or Latin America.
But I don't know where the flower would stick in because
I know.
Originally, when we saw the flower, we thought of Frankenstein, but now who knows? So I mean, that's really all I can really think of is Creature from the Black Lagoon, or
Returning Maze from last year,
or something to do with Latin America.
Yeah.
Culture, like another monster fiend maze based around South America, or Latin America.
Right.
All right, so now we're going to move on to a new icon that completely changed. So we have that looks like the Bride of Frankenstein hair and then a cross. So, your thoughts on...
we're doing that one. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought we were still going up.
No. So we're talking about the first tent in the H lot.
Right.
So it's the one with the Frankenstein hair with
a cross.
Or the Bride of Frankenstein hair with a cross.
Damn.
Okay.
I'm thinking...
Oh, and by the way, guys, I forgot to mention before we continue, there are these icons. So one of them, there's one that looks like a film reel, and then there's one that looks like an album. So the ones that have the film reel, it's probably going to be something with a movie. So I forgot to mention that. So the one with the horn, the first one that we talked about on the Walking Dead attraction, that is probably going to be based off a movie thing. The one in Persian Courtyard doesn't have any label. So I think it's going to be, something, but, Creature from the Black Lagoon is a Universal film, but they didn't label anything for that one, so we're just taking a guess. Now the one that we're on is labeled with a movie icon as well. So, again, it's Bride of Frankenstein hair with a cross. So, your prediction, Mom.
It could be like the Bride of Frankenstein, all brides with Frankie in it, or Universal Monsters.
Okay, I mean, I could see that.
Those are my two guesses.
Okay, so there was a movie that came out not too long ago that was called Lisa Frankenstein.
Never heard of that one.
It's basically a girl that, brings up her boyfriend back to life.
Oh,
so
okay.
It's kind of like The Bride of Frankenstein.
Right.
It was an okay movie. It wasn't as popular, but that's a leading theory. Well, that's not the leading theory, but that's one of people's guesses. But the one that's a leading theory is they're going to continue the story of The Bride of Frankenstein with Dracula. Because if you remember the end of The Bride of Frankenstein maze from 2021...
Right, I remember that one.
The story ended with Frankenstein coming back to life, and then the last room was the bride and one of the Dracula
vampires
having a battle. So I could see that story continue.
I could see it too.
So
yeah.
But at this point, who knows what it could be? All right. So now we're going to move on to our next one, which is also another new one.
Which one, James?
Is the one with the lantern.
Ooh.
That's based off a movie thing. And I can think of two properties, but I want to get your opinion first.
I say it wrong. I would say maybe A Quiet Place there. because they had to be quiet and they had to walk through the dark.
Okay, so I could see it, yeah.
Or I was thinking of another one. Or Silent Hill is going to be there. Because didn't they use a lantern in Silent Hill?
Yes, they did.
So those are my two guesses.
Right. So what I was thinking was the number one thing that comes to mind for me is Insidious.
Forgot about that.
I
remember they used a lantern in Insidious.
Yes,
going into the further.
Yes.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I could also see it be the nun from Blumhouse, because there's a scene where she has to walk down a dark corridor and she's using a lantern.
You mean the bad nun?
The good nun.
The good nun. Okay.
Not the bad nun. The good nun.
The good nun. Okay.
Yeah.
I can see those two coming.
Also, so I mean, those are some good ones that I could really think of that's coming.
Right.
For that icon. So now we're gonna move. We're gonna come back to the Terror Tram, because we're gonna end with the Terror Tram and then the two shows. But now we're gonna move. Now we're gonna move our way down to the lower lot. We have a new theme for the Mummy, which is this building that's on fire that also has a toxic waste symbol on it. So, your thoughts on that, Mom?
That's going to be a hard one.
And this was not labeled, so it's not it's not labeled. So
right.
It could really be anything.
Damn. Dang. I'm trying to think, James. Toxic waste. What movie had toxic waste and fire? What burned down?
I mean, yeah, this one is.
Yeah. I can't even think, James. I'm sorry. I'm stumped on that one.
Okay. So,
I can't think of anything right now.
So, I can think of one.
Okay.
And remember how we talked about, like, last time about something with Larry Lava and the Exterminators?
Oh, yeah! Oh, man.
I mean, that could be part of this maze, but also another part is a famous scare zone that you had to walk through to get to the back lot.
Toxic tunnel.
So,
yeah.
This,
I
mean, that's the only thing that I could really see being
Larry Lava and the toxic tunnel.
Mixed into a maze.
Yeah.
Because they both have to do with radiation, they both have to do with stuff like that.
Right.
So, I mean, I would really enjoy this maze if that is what's coming there.
Right.
Toxic Tunnel was a phenomenal.
I really liked the Toxic Tunnel.
Okay.
And I like the scare zone with Larry Lava. Also.
The Terror Tram.
Terror Tram.
Yeah. So, I mean, that is the leading theory right now, is it's going to be a mix of Toxic Tunnel and
Larry Lava.
Exterminators with Larry Lava. So, I mean.
Okay.
I mean, we will see.
Okay.
Alright, so now we're going to move on to what's going to be in Soundstage 15. Soundstage 15 is where they did Stranger Things last year. That's where they did, The Exorcist Believer. That's also where they did The Weeknd. And so, I think I kind of gave what we think it is because apparently this is going to be an exclusive maze for Hollywood only. It's not going to come to Orlando.
Okay.
Because what I heard is, and again, this is just speculation, that Orlando is thinking about doing a weekend scare zone. And then we're going to have a maze in Hollywood.
So they're going to have the scare zone. We're going to have
the maze.
Maze.
Because those look like his glasses, and then there's a famous song that's called "Blinding Light," and in the music video,
he wears those kind of glasses.
He wears those kind of glasses.
So I think the weekend's coming back, James.
Yeah.
We already gave it away.
Yeah, and you're looking at the icon. It's a music icon. So, I mean,
I think the weekend's coming back.
Right. Another lean theory is Billie Eilish. I mean, she was supposed to get her own maze back in 2020 before the pandemic did close down.
Right.
So, I mean, who knows?
Could be her, too.
I mean, who knows? Who knows at this point?
But I think it's going to be the weekend.
I mean, I would love to see the weekend come back.
I really like the weekend maze.
I really did enjoy it, too.
Okay.
And I have the album that I listen to constantly after hours.
Right.
That's really the only album I have of his, but it's a fantastic album. So
okay.
I do recommend if you guys check out the maze. You can find lots of videos of the old weekend maze. It was from 2022. So yeah. All right. So now we're going to move on to behind the Transformers ride, this icon. So it's basically a pig with his eyes X'd out with X's, and it's supposedly going to be based off a movie. So your thoughts, Mom?
The only thing I could think of is Saw coming back. They have pigs in the maze.
Mm-hmm.
I think in Saw's coming back. Or did they have pigs in Silent Hill?
They did not have pigs in
Silent Hill. Okay. So I think the only one I could think of is Saw coming back.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts, James?
So there's two lean theories on this one. So again, one of them that you did mention was Saw.
Saw, yeah.
Saw, based off Saw 10.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen Saw 10 yet.
I have not seen it either. So if it is coming, we gotta
watch it. Yeah.
That's movie. But also, there's another movie that's celebrating 50-year anniversary that also has pigs in it. And this is, again, Saw they did multiple times in Hollywood, and this other franchise they've done multiple times. But it's celebrating its 50th anniversary this year. The original Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
I forgot about that had pigs in there. Texas would be great. I would love to see a Texas maze there.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of Saw.
Instead of Saw. Yeah.
Texas would be wonderful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. So, I mean, honestly, those two are the leading theories.
Saw and Texas.
And Texas. So, we're just going to have to see which one it is. Because,
right.
That's, yeah. So, and now we're going to move on to Soundstage 22. Soundstage 22 is one of our newest sound stages that we required for Halloween Horror Nights. That
was where the Exodus Believer was.
Yes, so that was the first. Last year was the first year they used this sound stage, And so this icon, the Cadillac icon, was originally was up in the Walking Dead attraction. So, and then where the horn with the, so they basically switched locations. So originally we thought we were gonna get A Quiet Place in the soundstage, and then apparently the rumor is Ghostbusters was going to be in the Walking Dead attraction. So the leading theory is the Walking Dead attraction, or sorry, is the Ghostbusters. That's supposedly going to go in Soundstage 22, and about like a month ago, there was rumors that Universal Orlando was going to get Ghostbusters back, and supposedly they were going to do a lot of stuff with Ghostbusters. And so they announced that there was going to be a new parade that they were going to do.
This is in Orlando, right?
This is in Orlando, called the Mega Parade, and one of the properties that's going to be featured is Ghostbusters. So I think we're going to have Ghostbusters both in Hollywood and Orlando this year.
And based off the new movie, right?
Well, this is the thing. They did the original movie both in 2019, both in Orlando and Hollywood. A lot of people would love to see the new movies, like, you know, Ghostbusters Afterlife and Ghost Adventures Frozen Empire. But we don't know which Ghostbusters rights Universal got in Orlando.
Right.
So it all depends
on what they got.
I would be fine seeing the original Ghostbusters again.
Me too, James.
I would too.
But I would love to see the Ghostbusters for the Empire there this year.
Like the newest ones, like
yes. Afterlife and the mix of Ghostbusters for the Empire and the Afterlife. A mix of those.
Right. So, honestly, we don't know. And again, the Mega Parade stuff is officially true. I'm gonna probably do a video on that in the future, talking about all that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so that's why a lot of people are saying that we're probably gonna get Ghostbusters in Hollywood and Orlando because of the getting the license to Ghostbusters again in Orlando. But who knows? It could change. Also, another leering theory is they're going to have Carrie because, you know, the cars we're using in that movie were a Cadillac.
Yeah, that's right.
You know,
I forgot they were Cadillacs in that movie.
Yeah, so we're just going to have to see what they do. So,
right.
Pretty much that is all of the mazes, guys. So now we're going to move on to the Terror Trail. And I actually did have a conversation with my mom before we started recording this. And the rumor is that this year this Hollywood's event is going to be a Blumhouse heavy. That is the rumor, but who knows at this point? Because if you look at the icon for the Terror Tram, it looks like the house that they have for the Blumhouse logo.
Mm-hmm. So if we get the Terror Tram with Blumhouse, it's probably going to be different movies in the sections.
Right.
That's what I'm thinking.
Right. So, I mean, let's think about it. So, they've done the Purge Terror Tram already.
They did.
It was mostly the Purge with some other properties there. So
mostly the Purge.
Right.
But I would love to see like Megan in the Terror Tram.
Okay.
Night Swim, something to do with Night Swim.
I mean, I can see that, yeah.
And what other movie did I see from Blumhouse? Five Nights at Freddy.
Five Nights at Freddy, yeah.
And what else did I see, James?
We still have to see the new one, Imaginary, with the teddy bear. We still have
Yes,
to
we have to see that one still.
Right.
But I would love to see those three movies in the Terror Tram.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, I would be happy if they don't have the Purge back on the Terror Tram. They have done it about from what I remember, about 3 or 4 times on the Terror Tram, and they did a lot of scare zones back in the day with the Purge. So,
and they had the Purge stunt show last year.
Yes, so I mean. But honestly, if it's Blumhouse, they'll probably have something with the Purge. I mean, just, that's probably what they're going to do. So,
I hope, a mix of other movies.
That's what I'm hoping for. I mean, honestly, that's what I'm hoping for. So, I mean, who knows at this point what they're going to do.
Right.
All right, guys, so now we're going to move on. So, we are getting the Death Eaters back in the Harry Potter location.
Okay.
And then the scare zones, as I said, we're not even going to take a guess because we don't know. So now we're going to talk about the possible 2 shows. So again, both of the shows are going to be based off movie properties. That's what it's saying. So let's talk about Kung Fu Panda. Last year in Kung Fu Panda, it was called Blumhouse Behind the Screens.
It had Megan, Five Nights at Freddy.
The black phone.
The black phone.
Photo op with the black phone. So.
And Megan outside where you can take a picture.
Right. So. Rumor is they're going to do something with the classic Universal monsters in this location this year.
Oh. Okay. Interesting.
Because, if the Persian Courtyard is going to be Creature from the Black Lagoon, that's celebrating its 70th anniversary.
Right.
So, why not them do something with Universal monsters?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
It's either going to be that, or it's going to be something again with Blumhouse promoting new movies, because apparently there's a new Halloween movie that's coming out. They're also doing a new Nightmare on Elm Street movie that's coming out. So yeah.
Oh, Nightmare on Elm Street. Those are Blumhouse movies.
Remakes of those.
Yeah. Oh, remake of those. Okay.
Yeah. So I mean.
Don't know.
I mean, yeah. Those are the only 2 guesses that I can really see that's going in there, because what else are they going to do?
Right.
So, your thoughts, Mom?
I love Megan. Okay, last year, but I want something different.
So you're hoping for the Universal Monsters thing?
Yes. Or something to do with Night Swim, or another movie from Blumhouse.
Okay.
Besides Megan and the black phone and stuff. I would love to see a new attraction in there if they're going to do Blumhouse.
Like new stuff.
Yes.
I gotcha. Yeah. All right. So now we're going to talk about Waterworld, and so this symbol that you're seeing right here, that is very much a symbol that's related to the Purge. So I honestly think Purge Deadly Water is going to come back as a stunt show this year. I really can't see them doing anything else.
No.
In that location.
Because they cannot change Waterworld, so it's probably going to be the Purge.
I would love to see a new show, a different story.
Right.
If they're going to do the Purge again, as a stunt show, I would love to see something new.
Yes.
I don't want to see the same show that I saw last year.
Me too, James.
I would love to see something new.
But I hope it's not The Purge, but if it is, change the show up.
Right. But who knows at this point what they're going to do.
Right.
But at least I'm happy that we are getting a show in the Waterworld arena.
Right.
That's going to alleviate the clouds because Bill and Ted's no longer there.
Right.
The Animal Actor stage is gone.
Yes.
So, I mean, I'm glad that they are doing well, you can think of it as two shows, but I really consider what's in Kung Fu Panda kind of like a museum / show.
Right.
And I consider
Waterworld the stunt show.
A full show.
Right.
So, I mean, at least that's something to relieve the crowds.
That's true, James.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
Right. So, that is pretty much it for version 2 of the speculation map. I don't know if they're going to do any more. If they do more speculation maps, definitely I will do another video on it. And just to let you know, Marsha and I are going to be at Midsummer Scream this year. We are going to be covering that. So those videos will be coming in July. We are planning to go in sometime in June or July to check out the 60th anniversary of the studio tour. So that video will be coming out sometime in June and July. We're also going to be checking out Warner Brothers again, the daytime tour, so we'll have videos of that. And then, of course, when Halloween season comes around, we have our list of Halloween events that we're going to go to, which I'll talk about in future videos / podcasts when it gets closer to those events, so you guys know what it would be coming. So a lot of content's coming out. I'm still going to be doing the history videos of all the Halloween events I've gone to, like Halloween Horror Nights, Not Scary Farm, Queen Mary Dark Harbor, Rob Zombie's one that was here in 2013, and both times I went to Orlando. So those videos / podcasts are going to be continuing too. So a lot of content's going to be coming, but just to remember, guys, that I do this. I don't make any money doing this. It's just something I love doing for you guys. So definitely remember, I do have a job that I am working. So be mindful with me, and definitely, if you guys want to know what is going up with me, please follow me on all of my social media sites: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. And then definitely follow my co-host Marsha on her Twitter and her Instagram. We post up stuff all the time on there, so just please be respectful. So again, I want to hear your guys' feelings on all of this. What do you think? Do you think we're right on some of these speculations? Do you think we're wrong? And,
please let us know.
Please let us know. So, to wrap up this podcast before I do my closing spiel, I want to see if my co-host has anything else to say before we wrap up this video / podcast.
If everything we talked about is true for the mazes, it's going to be a good year for Halloween Horror Nights in Hollywood.
Right.
I'm excited, and hopefully some of them are true, because I would love to see those mazes.
Right. I mean, I would love to see it too. So, Mom, that's your final thoughts?
Yes.
All right, guys. So I'm going to end this video / podcast. So once again, my name is James. I was your host. I'm known on all my social media sites and YouTube and podcasts as Jimmypancakes 20. I want to thank again my co-host Marsha for joining me for this episode, and I don't know when I'm going to be back on YouTube and podcast, so as I said, definitely follow me on my social media sites. That's when you can get the latest updates from me, and this was episode 18, or second Halloween Horror Nights Hollywood Speculation Map version 2, and I'll see you guys for the next podcast / videos coming soon. So take care. Have a good night, good evening, good afternoon, or whenever you are watching this video / podcast. So once again, my name is James, aka Jimmypancakes, signing off, and I'll catch you on the next video / podcast soon.